Hey everybody, here I am in my casual civvies. Hope you're having a good Labor Day weekend and are taking time to either relax or get yourself square. Each can be equally as satisfying depending on where you are in your prep process. This week we will be talking about outlining. And um, in my experience, and this is, you may recall, I have a sort of diverse educational background. And I've encountered lots of different ways of learning about different topics. Law school was unique to me in a lot of ways, but in one particular way, relevant to outline, it was the most different. In most of the science technology classes I'd had previously, we went through and were provided with an overall conceptual framework. Okay, in thermodynamics, here's the first law of thermodynamics. Here's what we mean by entropy and enthalpy. Those kinds of things. And then we would do problems to illustrate those general concepts. In law school, commonly, much less than it used to be, but commonly still, the instruction is centered on the case method, and the case method is sometimes used exclusively. And what that does is it provides you with examples after example after example after example of how different legal principles were specifically discussed and addressed in light of particular fact patterns by a court. And sometimes there isn't that step back in the providing of a general overall framework. I know a lot of the professors do that now. But the work of generating and integrating those examples into an overall framework is the task of outlining. It's using the rules from those cases to generate the list of topics, rules, standards, etc., that will form the basis of the body of law that you have to know for your course. And the outline will encapsulate all of that. It will capture all of that information into a single document. And it's a living document. Like some people claim the Constitution is a living document. I don't really know what that means, honestly. But in this context, a living document means it's going to be changing all the time. It's not something, well, I've outlined weeks 1 through 3, I needn't touch that ever again. No, you're going to go back and revise as you would anything else. As your understanding gets revised, so should your outline. As you do additional hypotheticals in class, that should be reflected in your outline. And that kind of synthesis and integration is what outlines are so good for. They're also good for, as of course, as study tools, which we'll talk about it after the lecture. But now you'll see in the lecture that what you'll be learning to do there is how to construct it. What material do you use to generate an outline? What should you and should not include in your outline? And after you get that lecture, you'll be in a good position to start outlining in all of your classes. So enjoy the lecture.